Hello, welcome back to my YouTube. CHISOM VIVIAN, and this is my parenting channel. Okay, all we do here basically is to teach and tell all about positive parenting and gentle parenting. So please, if this is your first time of seeing my video, do not to subscribe to my channel and also turn on the notification button so that you get notified each time I'm live, and also whenever I upload a new video, okay, so that you get to see it, you watch it, and also learn from it. It's important, okay. So in this video today, I want to let each and every one of you know that, or will I say, I am here to say that you should stop spanking your children. As a parent, one of the things that 80 or let's say 90% of the parents out there tends to do in order, to be free from stress, or let's say the disturbance of our children. Also, when we feel that we are correcting them, we tend to spank them. There is tendency of 90% of parents out there spanking their children, all in the name of discipline. There are actually other ways which you can use, or let's say that you can actually discipline your child without spanking that child, okay? Because most of the times when we spank our children, they we are inculcating this fear in them. Sometimes because on the process of spanking, we tend to scold more than necessary, and also we tend to make them feel, sometimes we make them feel ashamed of themselves, and also sometimes because we as a parents are the ones that they love the most, okay. Children love their parents the most, yes, note that. And because we are the ones that love the most, and now the people, or let's say the person that they love the most, is now spanking them, scolding them on top of it, and they will now feel, sometimes they feel, most of the children feel unloved, okay. Sometimes they will even question themselves if you are their true parents. All right. And I want to tell you today that spanking doesn't really mean, or you don't need to spank your child all in the name of trying to correct a child. If you happen to have a child that has, I'm sorry, that's why it's important that you start teaching your children boundaries, okay, on time. I always emphasize for you to start from, I always advise that you start from age 0, from age 1 to 12 years old, imparting your children, teach them the norms, the do's and don'ts, the ethics, their culture, the language, teach them everything, and on the process, also teach them manners. Okay, teach them to be honest, teach them honesty, teach them a lot of things. Don't say, oh, they are still growing. I need to, limit what I teach them. No, at this process, because their brain is still growing, their brain is there to welcome every good thing that you are there to impart in your children. Okay, Or when you neglect them or feel they know all those things, or maybe you are teaching a child a particular manner, or maybe a modest behavior, then you will not consistent with it. Because when raising children, it is important that you're consistent with your parenting, okay, parenting journey. It's important that you are consistent with your parenting pattern, okay? Whatever you are teaching them, continue, be consistent with it. Teach it more often, okay? So that children will know, it will stick to their brain. Don't just say it once and you stop saying it. If there's a particular thing you are telling them to stop doing, don't just say it once and you are done saying it. Say it often and often times. Remind them, okay? Always remind them so that you in fact always remind them so that the tendency of them forgetting that rules, or will I say those modest behaviors that you are teaching them, will no longer be there. Okay, please be consistent with your teaching. Okay, spanking does not solve our problem. Okay, spanking our children does not solve the problem. Okay, it doesn't even teach them the real meaning of what they did. It only makes it only impacts, or let's say inculcates this fear in your child. Okay, and with time you feel like, my child is no longer doing it. No, sometimes because you didn't, when your child did something wrong, you didn't start by correcting the child, letting the child know the action cause of his or her actions, and also the implications of his or her actions, okay? And you feel you will spank and scold and like shout, you yell at the child, and the child will probably understand, like, stop doing it. Believe me, the child will, at some point, the child, because you are spanking your children, they will stop that behavior. But at some point in their life, you will start noticing that your children, they are now this kind of children that have low self-esteem, okay? Because they feel if they should do something or move their body, or think otherwise, you're going to scold them, you're going to spank them. So you have used spank to kill that agility, like that's sometimes it kill the fast thinking in your children, okay? So you just kill, what will I call it now? In fact, you hurt your children, okay? When you spank them, you are hurting them. Some children will be bold enough to tell you that you're hurting them, while some of them will not. Okay, because children, all of them are different and they are unique. Okay, so if you happen to have that one child that always tell you this is okay, that always tell you, mom, dad, that please, you are hurting me, or probably that they don't like the way you scold me, or if the child should confront you with your wrongdoing, or maybe with a particular attitude you are portraying towards them, please change from it. Okay, children are very intelligent, and sometimes they are moved, okay, to tell us how they feel. So please try to listen more than you spank. Okay, try to understand why did this my child did this. And I don't know whether you're getting what I'm saying. Try to understand, make sure you're understanding your children, okay? Because spanking, in fact, spanking doesn't solve the problem. It doesn't solve the problem. Most times you might feel, oh, that's my child is now quiet, my child doesn't disobey, like my child doesn't do the same, perform the same action that made you to spank he or she the last time. But you will know that your child is no longer respecting you. What your child is respecting is that cane. Because the child now knows that whenever he or she does everything wrong, that's why most times when you're not holding a cane, a child tends to misbehave. But immediately you picks up a cane, your children, they will comport themselves. That child will comport his or herself. him or herself immediately because they have seen that cane. So in that way, you should know that your child is not, your child is not respecting you, but rather your child is respecting that cane that you just picked up. And why I'm saying stop spanking is because sometimes it becomes a norm, okay? Sometimes it becomes a norm in our life, okay? Sometimes it becomes a norm in the life of parents because they think they spanked the child the first time and now the child is quiet, the child is no longer behaving in that certain manner, okay? Or let's say in that certain way. Now, every time the child, misbehaved, they picked up cane immediately and they will start chasing that child, they will start spanking that child. Please don't make it a habit of you spanking your children. Teach them more, do more of the talking, mentor them. In fact, when your child misbehave, sit your child down, try to know the reason why your child behaved the way he or she did. Okay? And that's where your mentorship comes in. Then you have to tell the child this is the implication of this is the cause of what you did, and this is the implication of what your actions and all of that, your thinking. Okay? And also you teach the child the results of his or her action will yield in future if he or she to continue with that same attitude, or if he or she continues in that same way of life. Our children listens to us, but it's the tone that we use, in correcting them that matters. Most people, most parents don't even care whether it's for the reason why the child did some certain things, or they know that the child is wrong and they start spanking. No, everything does not end with spanking. You cannot say you've corrected the child totally through spanking. That is why most times your children relate more with people that don't spank them. Maybe your relative, your brother, your sister, your grandma, your grandpa that doesn't spank them. They have this tendency of pouring out their hearts towards them. You know that he or she has made a mistake. You rather know that he or she has made a mistake. You rather spend them more or to even know the cause of their actions. Okay? Stop spanking your children. Please stop spanking your children, okay? Don't do that. It doesn't help at all. It will only make your children to, feel scared, feel ashamed, and also feel unloved. So please, I believe that you must have learned one or two from what I said. And please, there is always room for change as a parent. But it's important that you change you and also you start it on time, okay? Don't just say, because after the age of 12, anything now you're bringing it to that child is going to, contemplate whether to accept or reject it. All right, it is more easy to build than to repair. Okay, so please have it at the back of your mind. All right, have it at the back of your mind, please. Do you have any question for me? Please feel free to drop it on the comment section and also like my video. Okay, in one way or the other that you can support this channel, please feel free to do so. Okay, through likes, through comments, through recommending, or let's say sharing this live video, so that other parents out there will be able to see and also hear, okay, some of the things that matters in life when it comes to raising their children. Okay, so thank you. If you have not subscribed, please do well to subscribe, and don't forget, turn on your notification button so you get notified each time I have a new video. Okay, please do well to subscribe. I would appreciate it a whole lot. Thank you. And another thing is, before I forget, One of the reasons why you shouldn't spank your child is because you are going to be teaching them what we call violence, physical abuse. Because as you're correcting them, every time you're spanking them, they now feel that is the way you get to correct someone who has made a mistake. You start seeing your elder, or will I say your senior children, your elder children, spanking their younger ones because of pitying, physical violence when it comes to, when their siblings, wronged them or maybe did anything that they did not, like. They have this tendency of fighting, trying to use something to hit one another. They didn't learn it all, from somewhere else. It's from your actions as their parents, because that was exactly what you did when you were trying to correct them from their mistakes. Okay, so they are now okay, but still portraying that same thing because they look up to you. Whatever they see you do is what they do themselves. Okay, so they are trying to portray those your actions. Okay, to also let you, sure that's how you are correcting them. So why would they do the same? Okay, so they imitate and they are portraying it because they're in the imitating stage. Okay, so please be careful of the things you do around your kids from age 1 to 12. Okay, thank you so much for joining this my live video. Okay, don't, I'm still going to come back live again. Okay, thank you so much, I really appreciate. Thank you. See you in my next live video. Okay, see you soon.